Hello and welcome to Soulbody Yoga with our Halloween edition. Before we start talking about Halloween and how that might relate to a yoga practice, let's focus on our posture first. So I would like you to stand with your feet together and then lift your toes, spread your toes and reconnect to the ground. And do this a couple of times. Notice as you move your toes, if your hands start tensing up, keep your hands relaxed so that you discern which areas in your body you are moving without bringing in help that isn't needed. So lift the toes, spread the toes and reconnect. And then lift the heels slightly. And then this is a meditative instruction. Lengthen the heels away from the ball of the foot and reconnect to the ground so that you increase your foundation. And then relax your knees a little and then take your hips in a circle, bringing spaciousness into the hip joint and into the lower spine. Do this in both directions. And then come forward and backwards. Tucking under and back out in this way. And then find the most appropriate position where your pelvis is open to the top so that the spine can fall into the pelvis in a relaxed way rather than having to bend back or forward. So find the way that is slightly tucked under, but not too much. And then lift your rib cage, lift the solar plexus, and then relax the shoulders. Lengthen the back of your neck. Imagine you have a thread at the top of the head, lifting you up. So from the waist up, you're buoyant like a feather. From the waist down, you're rooted into earth. And then allow your arms to just hang down for the moment. Keep your hands relaxed. And then imagine you have strings on your fingertips. These strings are being lengthened. They are like feelers, allowing you to feel whatever is in the extension of your fingertips. So you're feeling towards the ground. I am feeling the mat. It's feeling spongy. It is feeling warm. It is feeling a little rough. And then imagine those strings are turning. So you stretch your imagination as if you were being moved by the space beyond your body. And there you stand, breathing deeply. Halloween, All Hallows, or Samhain, a time where we celebrate the dead, where we celebrate our saints. But it is not just about celebrating people in our lives who have passed or sages who have passed away. It is also a time where we celebrate the things that we have let go of, the things that have died away in our life, that have served their purpose. So we celebrate and honor these things that we have released, like giving ourselves a pat on the back for having been able to let go, getting over attachments, which is one of the pillars of yoga. One of the precepts in the Yoga Sutras, one of the yamas, is aparigraha. And it is said when we are able to let go of any attachments, when we are free of any desires, then the knowledge of the cycles of life and death will be revealed to us. Because when we are fearful to let go or when we're in an anxiety state, then of course we are blind to what is actually there around us because we fix our sight onto one thing in particular. And now from here, this relates to the water element. The water element is the element of letting go and releasing. And the water element relates to the bladder and kidney meridian. So let's see if we can activate and work and loosen up those meridians in the body. So we're going to stretch and mobilize the back of the body, which also relates to our past. So relax your hands now. Let your hands become heavy. And then let your head come down, feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. And then allow your head and shoulders to become heavy, letting the arms hang down. Allow your knees to relax, breathing deeply as you allow one vertebra at a time to let go towards the ground. Keep your arms heavy. Keep your head relaxed and heavy until you roll down towards the ground and you bend your knees enough so that your body can rest on top of your thighs. And if that isn't available to you, if you can't reach your thighs, no matter how much you bend your legs, then you take a chair and sit on the chair with your sitting bones. And then you roll yourself back up. So find a way that this works for you. And let's keep doing that a few times. As you come back up, the last thing that comes up is the shoulders, and then the head, and then the eyes coming to the horizontal. Then the eyes let go to the ground again. And the cycle begins again. So letting go of everything that has served its purpose, letting go of that which is familiar in our lives in favor of that which is unknown, can of course be a scary process that can induce fears, and fears relate to the kidney. Worry relates to the kidney. But the excitement of going into the unknown with your life, the possibilities that are in the unknown, the trust in life that life will provide. So as you let go, riches are revealed. And another thing, the other way that aparigraha, non-attachment, and its benefits are interpreted is not just that the cycles of life and death will be revealed, but that the knowing of past and future lifetimes will be released and revealed to you. So the more we let go of that which isn't needed in our life anymore, and most of us have a feeling of what doesn't serve us, the more we will receive in return. And then starting again, eyes go down, the head follows. So the element of release is water. And you can imagine as you go down that there is a stream of water running down your back, running down the legs, facilitating the release. So you're giving your body permission to let go of anything, of any tensions that are no longer needed. Last one. Really feeling into all those spaces on your vertebrae. As you come back up, you're pushing into the ground with your feet to unroll yourself, to uncurl yourself into the uprightness. And then we can roll the shoulders, opening the front of the body, bringing spaciousness into the hands, circling the hands inwards and outwards, the elbows. And you can even bring in your inner temple dancer. As one elbow goes down, the other goes up, and the hands just follow, as if you were tracing a waterfall. Allowing the body to become fluid, allowing the body to become smooth in its movement, just like water. Okay, good. Let the arms hang again, and then take one leg forward, just a little. So let me show this sideways. So the heel comes forward, and then you bend the back leg and place the hand on the thighs, like this, and relax that foot. And then bring the sitting bones up. So this is a stretch for the hamstring, for the back of the thigh. And the upper body is straight. So the more you lift the sitting bones here, the more you will get a stretch on the back of the thigh. So find the position where you can have about 70 to 80% stretch, nothing more, and then breathe into that area. Deep inhale, long relaxed out breath. And then you can tap the foot. Let the foot go in and out, bringing also a bit of stretch to the outer and inner part of the hamstring. And then you take the leg back and come back up into a standing position. And now feel what is the difference between the right side and the left side. Take a moment for integration. And now we're going to do the other side. So take the other leg forward and then bend the back leg and place your hands onto the thigh. Straighten your spine and take the sitting bones up until you start feeling about a 70 to 80% stretch in the back of your thigh. And keep the foot relaxed. Relax your shoulders away from your ears so you have spaciousness in the neck region. And then breathe deeply, breathing as if on the back of your thigh you have an extra lung. So this is a stretch that balances the kidney and bladder meridian. The kidney meridian helps us adapt to stress. So if you have a lot of stress in your life and a lot of situations that induce anxiety, then this depletes the energy of the kidneys and of the bladder. So we need to balance this out by bringing the attention of our breath. Where the breath goes and where the attention goes, the energy flows. So by bringing the attention to these areas that relate to these meridians, we're balancing our nervous system. And bringing ourselves into states of just trusting that everything is going to be all right. And if you send out these vibrations and the feelings of trust, then life will respond with situations that will induce more trust. Because stress depletes our chi, our life force. So, and by straightening these meridians and stretching them, we are balancing them. So we can have a reverse effect, that it calms our minds, and when the mind is calmed through the breath, through the stretches, then the body can also release and let go. Because sometimes stress and worry and fear also becomes a habit. And maybe that is why we in Halloween do things that are scary, because we're almost having a habit of needing that in our lives, needing these adrenalines in our lives. But the healthy way of dealing with that is what matters. And then you take another deep breath as you come back out. Take a moment to stand and integrate. Notice what you notice. And then we're going to come into our next position. So take the legs a little further apart. And for this one, you might need a bolster or a cushion. So I'm going to take a cushion to demonstrate this. We're going to do a squat, which releases any stuck tensions in the spine. A symptom of the bladder meridian being a little bit imbalanced can be back pain, and this is a pose that can release back pain. So I would like you, if you need to have a cushion there, you can sit on the cushion, take your legs apart, and then with your hands, pull the thighs apart, and then just allow yourself to hang and give the tailbone to gravity. Bring your body into uprightness. Of course, if that's available to you, you can do that without a cushion, like this, which gives you even more benefit for releasing and opening the spaces between the spine vertebrae. So opening the front of the body, lifting the front of the body, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, and just allowing that tailbone to hang down to the ground. And breathing deeply. And imagining that stream of warm water going down your back, your ability to let go, to free up space for the new, for trust and for stability in your life. Releasing the energies, the imbalanced energies of the bladder for a healthy, balanced nervous system. Breathing deeply. So as we slow down our breath, we give an information to our nervous system that everything is okay, that we can trust. And then automatically our nervous system calms down, our vagus nerve calms. And that will have a positive effect on the bladder and on the kidney to restore our chi, our life force. And then they can function better. And then you can take your hands to the ground, come with your hands under your shoulders, with your knees under your hips. Okay, so we now have the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. And again, we are going to stretch the back of the body. So this time, we're going to do similar to when we were doing the curl down earlier, one vertebra at a time. But I would like you to start. Oops. Oh dear. One light's gone out. I would like you to start with the tailbone. So tucking the tailbone under, one vertebra at a time, and then letting the head hang. Did you notice how I didn't attach to that tea light in the lamp? What needs to go will go. Tucking under, one vertebra at a time, and then letting the head hang, really releasing the energy on the back of the head, on the back of the neck, and then one vertebra at a time, also starting from the tailbone, taking the tailbone up, and then one vertebra at a time, allowing this spaciousness, the stretch, to travel upwards. And another effect of a balanced bladder is it gives you will, determination, and perseverance. So more trust in life if the kidney energy is balanced, and more will, determination, and perseverance if the bladder energy is balanced. And combine that with slowing down your breath. So as you tuck under, one vertebra at a time, and let your head hang, you're breathing out, and you're inhaling as you take your sitting bones up, and one vertebra at a time coming into the valley position. And if it so happens, as you do these things, that you sigh or that you yawn, then that is really welcome, because that is a sign that your nervous system is relaxing. And we want to invite that in. I always say in my yoga classes that in the yoga classes it is not rude to yawn, because that is what our bodies need to relax. Not a sign of boredom, just a sign of release. So coming into the body and also feeling every sensation as you are doing these movements, as you are balancing out the spine and inviting the joint fluid back in between the vertebrae. So the spine can be buoyant, so the spine can become what it is there for, your suspension. And then staying here, making your back as round as you can and really feeling that stretch on the back on the back of the spine, on the sides, next to the spine. All those muscles alongside the spine can stretch. And the head just dangling down like a rag doll. And then bringing your back into a straight position. And there is one part of the back of our body that we haven't stretched yet. So I want you to take one leg back and lengthen the heel away from the hips and feel the stretch in your calf muscle. That is also really good for the Achilles tendon, this stretch. And if we now from here, if we are feeling the calf muscle, then breathe into the calf muscle. Breathing deeply and then keeping the heel where it is. So watch, my heel will hardly move. I'm going to bend my knee just a fraction. And then maybe even push the heel a little further away as the knee is bent just a fraction. And you should feel the stretch go a little lower into the lower calf muscle and the Achilles tendon. That is a really good stretch, especially if you wear high heels a lot, which shortens the Achilles tendon, or if you did so in the past. Then this stretch is really something you should be doing every day. And then relax, release, notice the changes, notice the difference between the right calf and the left calf. Take a moment to breathe and integrate. Check in on yourself, are my shoulders still away from the ears? And then take the other leg back, tucking the toes under and feeling the stretch in the calf muscle by pushing the heel away from the hips. And breathe into that area as if that area was an extra lung. Allow your hands to really melt into the ground so that the pose is rooted. By the way, if your knee is a bit sore, you can take a block or a cushion underneath the knee. Breathe deeply, another 2 or 3 breaths. And then bending the knee slightly, keeping the heel lengthened away so that you can feel the stretch in the lower calf muscle, sending your awareness into that space, also where your Achilles tendon is. And then release and relax. So now we are going to lie on the back. And for this one, you might need a cushion or a bolster, and you can place that behind the head, like this. And also another adaptation you can do to this pose is that you take a blanket. That will make it easier on your on the back of your neck, like this. And you lie aligning the top of your shoulders with the top of the blanket. Make sure that the blanket is smooth. So the best would be a pleated blanket. And we're going to do another really nice stretch for the back. And if you are quite tight on the back of your body, then you might need to make this a little higher. So it could even be a chair that you will place your feet on in a moment. So push with your feet into the ground and lift your buttocks up. And lengthen the fingertips away from the shoulders, lengthen the shoulders away from the ears, give yourself that space. So you notice here that my 7th cervical is free and not constricted, because I've given the space by putting that blanket underneath. And then you can roll up and either placing the feet on the chair or on a bolster behind you, or if you're really flexible, then you can obviously also go towards the ground, and here we are in plow pose. So for me today, it is much more comfortable to place my feet on a bolster, so I'm going to respect that. And ideally, I want to bring the buttocks just above the shoulders. so that the spine is straight. But I'm respectful of where I am at the moment. So if that feels a little too tight, then I'm going to just stay here. Ideally, don't look at the screen right now. Keep facing the middle, so don't turn your head from side to side, because that's not so favorable for your neck. And breathe deeply. So find a position where you can breathe with ease. And feel that stretch. Extend your breath to the back, to the spine. And maybe at some point your body will open up and you might be able to come a little deeper in. Breathing deeply. Allowing your body to relax and melt into the ground. Give your body to gravity. And then when you feel you want to exit, you can of course stay here a little longer if you feel that that is doing you good. But when you want to come out, you roll down one vertebra at a time, meeting the ground slowly, noticing how your spine is feeling as you meet the ground again. And then you bring your feet to the ground. You can take out what you were lying on. And just lie on your back for a moment, stretching the legs out. Notice what you notice. Shoulders away from the ears, palms facing up. And again, you can have that imagination that you're lying underneath a warm waterfall, and you're giving the permission to the body to release anything that no longer serves you, trusting the body to know what needs to go. Another quality that will strengthen the water and the earth element in your body. And if you, in your day-to-day life, do get overcome by anxiety or fears, just find ways to slow down your breath. And that will help you, especially the out breath. Listen to your breath, deepen your breath. So through your breath you can influence your psychological state. And as a last thing that we're going to do today, before we start a little meditation, I would like us to find the bubbling well point. So you can do this seated or you can do this lying down. So the bubbling well point is just here in the middle of the bottom part of the ball of the foot, right there. And we give that part a little pressure. Pressure that feels good for you, and breathe into that. If you want to, you can do both feet at once. So you can do the sitting down or lying down, whatever feels best for you. So with your thumb on that space, and then relaxing into the ground as you give that space a little bit of pressure. And this bubbling well point, even though it is on the kidney meridian, actually is like a meeting point of all the meridians in your body. So you're letting go, releasing and balancing your whole system, giving yourself a reset. Breathing, inhaling, imagining your breath reaching that part where your thumb is pressing onto. You can do this for as long as you like, having pressure on that point. And I invite you to do that maybe even once a day for 5 or 10 minutes. It's a really good idea to do that. You will feel more energized, more full of life force in your day-to-day life. But if in doubt, if you don't have that much time, sensitize your thumbs to feel. When you start feeling a little bit of pulsation underneath your thumb, that means that you've activated that point. So if you're feeling depleted, or if you're feeling any fatigue, which is also a sign of a depletion of bladder or kidney energies, that you've been using the life force more than the energy that you've been generating, then making connection with this bubbling well point is a really good idea. So I'm starting to feel pulsation on that point now, so I'm going to let go, but you can keep pressing longer. And then you can stretch your legs out, shake one leg, shake the other leg, let your toes fall outwards. Find yourself a comfortable position. You can put a small cushion underneath your head if that is needed. And then let your palms face up in corpse pose, in Shavasana, and breathe deeply. I am going to sit now, but you can stay lying down. You can even put a cushion on your eyes. And I'm going to sit up and talk you through a pranayama breathing exercise that we are going to do. If you prefer to sit, of course, you can do this too. So you can allow your palms to face up, or your palms can face down. If your palms are facing down, then allow your fingers to hang down with gravity, but keep the front of the body open, so smiling from collarbone to collarbone. And then listen to your breath. Listen to the depth of your breath. Listen to the speed of your breath, the speed of your in-breath compared to your out-breath. How long is the in-breath compared to your out-breath? Taking your internal gaze, noticing all the sensations that are in your body, and really tuning into your internal gaze. And then if you can, slow down your out-breath. Let your out-breath be longer than your in-breath. And I think you can hear my breath now, because I have constricted the back of my throat to create a little bit of extra slowing down of my breath. It's like fogging up glasses. That is the sound that you're doing with the back of your throat. And you can help yourself by counting the in-breath compared to the out-breath. So inhaling for 4, breathing out for 6 or 8, if that's possible for you without strain. Soften your gaze, soften your jaws, soften your lips, relax your tongue. Imagine your tongue is lying in your mouth like in a hammock. And automatically, as you relax your jaws, your shoulders will also soften. So this practice is called the Ujjayi practice, and it's really good for releasing and letting go of anxieties and fears and bringing us into a state of calm and relaxation, and for calming the nervous system. And you can do this for as long as you like. I would recommend doing this for 10 or 15 minutes. But if you don't have the time for that, just 5 minutes a day will suffice. And to finish today's session, we are going to hum 3 times. And you can just lie there and hum. Keep your eyes closed, especially if you're wearing, if you have a cushion on top of your eyes. And humming activates the thymus gland, our self-healing agent. So let's do this 3 times to finish the session. Imagine the hum expanding and being received by all the cells in the body, all the cells vibrating with that hum. So you can do this a little longer if you wish, the Ujjayi breath or the humming. And I will say goodbye. And keep your calm as the world gets scary out there today on Halloween. With love and blessings.